Mario is a game character that needs no introduction. He's been considered the most recognizable video game character for decades now. But not counting Mario Maker, it's been ages since we got a 2D side-scroller of Mario. 10 years have already passed since New Super Mario on the Wii U. A lot of people are already saying that it's an amazing game, but we wonder if its new gameplay elements are worth your money. Let's find out together, shall we? This is the video version of a review on our website, links in the description below. Mario and his friends were invited to the newly introduced Flower Kingdom. Bowser barges in uninvited, steals a Wonder Flower, and fuses with the kingdom's castle. He then uses the flower's Wonder Power and imprisons its citizens while gathering more Wonder Power. And as he always does, Mario steps in to save the day. Except in this case, it isn't just Mario, but his whole crew who are here to stop King Koopa. You go to each world, freeing its citizens and collecting royal seeds that help lower the defenses around Bowser's castle, so that you can get in and thwart Bowser's dastardly plans. The story follows the usual Mario formula of Bowser being a menace and Mario saving the day. There really isn't anything else to talk about concerning the story. Then again, you don't need a special, deep story to enjoy a Mario game. It would be a pleasant surprise if they did, but not exactly a requirement. So let's get right into what you're here for. The gameplay. The gameplay follows the usual 2D Mario formula with the usual additional gameplay elements here and there that serve to differentiate it from other Mario games. Of course, one of the big aspects of Mario gameplay is the power-ups. Mario players are already very familiar with the Fire Flower, so let's just go on ahead and address the elephant in the room. Haha, thank you. No, you're too kind. I'll be here all week. Please subscribe. It's no secret that the new elephant form was one of the big highlights when the trailer first came out. It was also how we learned what Bowser is into. You can turn into the new form by getting an elephant fruit. This form comes with a few abilities such as being able to break blocks with your trunk, the ability to gather water from water sources with your trunk, and spray it with said trunk. The other two new power-ups that the game introduced are the Drill Mushrooms and the Bubble Flower. The Drill Mushroom gives you the ability to drill into the ground and ceiling, as well as the ability to defeat enemies from below. The Bubble Flower gives you an offensive ability much like the Fire Flower, but with bubbles. However, the bubbles you release can also be used as a springboard to get to places you normally wouldn't be able to. These power-ups do a wonderful job of opening up opportunities to replay all the many levels you have to go through. By the end of each level, we couldn't wait to try out the different power-ups to find different items or secrets we couldn't find in the first run. We love the freshness each power-up provided. It also added an engaging layer of problem solving to the levels. It prompts you to think, okay, I'm having a hard time here, do I need to change my approach? What'll it be? Rather than just to try to bang your head into the wall to brute force your way through. In addition, you can also carry over power-ups from previous stages and carry an additional one around as a spare. This allows you to experiment with all the power-ups from different levels in different situations easily. Speaking of experimentation, one of the game's innovations is its badge system, which grants a player a new passive or active ability that they can use within levels. These effects range from giving you the simple ability to jump higher, to saving you from dying from a pitfall once. These can be purchased or obtained from various nodes around the map and can only be equipped one at a time. Badges can be switched out before each level and between each attempt on the same level, making it even easier to experiment. Much like the power-ups, the badges give the player several options to engage with the levels in different ways, keeping the player on their toes and keeping that spirit to explore alive. They've also added a recommended badge feature that pops up when you fail enough times. Thumbs up for accessibility! Most levels contain a Wonder Flower. Grabbing these Wonder Flowers will cause the stage to morph into a sort of special mini-stage. Wonder Flowers can also sometimes give the players a special form that is only accessible during that specific stage's Wonder Flower. And these transformations can be pretty trippy. You might find yourself turning into a goo or a balloon. We always looked forward to every Wonder Flower segment as it was like a wildcard section. You just could never really predict what you're going to get. In a good way, like a surprise birthday party. And surprise! You're the cake! Minigames also litter the map, spicing up the standard progression every so often with a refreshing spin on established game mechanics. Some examples include a racing minigame where you race against a Wiggler to the end of a stage. There's also an arena stage where you have to defeat all the enemies in a time attack format. There are even special levels that provide a greater challenge compared to the regular levels. Like this one we embarrassingly spent 3 hours on. It took a while, but damn did it feel good overcoming the challenge. Platforming as a genre has the pitfall of becoming boring to some over time, as it constantly adheres to its core game mechanics stricter than most games, leading things to feel stale. It's safe to say that this game manages to bypass that pitfall completely by always keeping things fresh, all the way up to the last level. And it's only able to do this through the power-ups, badges, wonder flowers, and mini-games it provides. We mentioned that it's not just Mario taking the stage this time, as he's joined by other characters in the fight against Bowser. We have the first 7 characters: Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Blue Toad, Yellow Toad, and Toadette. They all operate the same way and are essentially the same character in different skins. So unlike the badges and power-ups, it doesn't change anything gameplay-wise if you decide to go with your favorite character. The only minor change is that each character can find hidden blocks specific to them in each stage. The last available 5 characters include 4 differently colored Yoshis and Nabbit. These 4 operate differently and have their unique abilities. Chief among them, the ability to ignore damage from enemies. The trade-off is that these 5 characters cannot pick up power-ups, rendering their gameplay very monotonous and some levels completely unfinishable. Newbies and young children can simply use these if they feel stuck in a level, while veterans can simply not use these characters. The benefits extends to multiplayer as well, allowing players of all skill levels to play together and beat the game. And since we're on the topic of multiplayer, you can play through all the levels with 3 other players, assuming you all have Nintendo Switch Online. This adds even more fun to the fun and replayability of the game. Although a heads up to the fans of New Super Mario Bros. U, you won't be able to troll as much since you can't directly interfere with your teammates. The older game allowed you to pick them up, throw them around, or bonk them in the head. Sad news to all the players out there who just love to be annoying gremlins to their friends and family. Nintendo rarely ever neglects the aesthetics of a game. After all, Nintendo is known for that Nintendo polish. And man, do the audio and visuals of this game give it a good clean sparkle. While the game retains the tried and tested modern Mario look, it executes it amazingly well. The stage designs are full of color and with their own personality, as each of the 6 worlds give off a distinct vibe and look. The animations are fluid, keeping at a constant 60 frames per second, and the effects are mesmerizing. Seeing the stage change when you activate a Wonder Flower never gets old, especially with how well they do it. The designs of the different forms you take during Wonder Flower sections are also very endearing. It should be no surprise that the soundtrack for the game is mwah! Chef's kiss! The game's soundtrack and music were composed by Sayaka Doi and Shiho Fuji of Splatoon 3 fame, so the tracks just never get old regardless of how many times you have to restart a level. Notably, the stage's theme also changes slightly when you're in elephant form, a very welcome attention to detail. Special mention goes to the final stage's track, not just for how good it is by itself, but how well it meshes with the gameplay. You'll know what we mean when you get there. The sound design is also amazing, giving that added pizzazz to every action. From the sound effects of jumping onto enemies to that drum roll you get from doing a ground pound.
Wonderful!
Super Mario Bros. Wonder is another fun game you can either play by yourself or with friends and family. It gets a lot of things right, from its tried and true side-scrolling platformer formula to its audio and visuals. The newly added badges and power-ups give the player an incentive to revisit stages that you've already finished in order to find secrets or do a speedrun, giving it a welcome layer of replayability to the game. We completed the game in about 20-ish hours while doing a good number of extra content as well, but even then we didn't 100% it, so there's still probably a good 5 to 10 hours in there. We especially recommend the special levels for those who want an extra challenge. But in the end, can we recommend Super Mario Bros. Wonder at its release price of $60 US? The answer is yes! This is a good game for those who are longtime fans of the Mario franchise, as well as those who have never played a 2D Mario. And so we're giving Mario Wonder an 8.8. So what did you guys think of Super Mario Bros. Wonder? We'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe for more video game content. This is Game 8 signing off.